for me for 12 months. Now, after replacing her, I continued with my work until I successfully finished my tour of duty. When I came back to Kenya, this lady was in conflict with US law. She ran into conflict with US law for assault. So I discovered that she was under deportation. And because she was not ready to be deported, she had to find a scapegoat to buy time so that she can continue staying in the United States. That is how I got dragged into her issue. Honorable Chair, permit me also just to say that this issue of domestic workers is an occupational issue. It's an occupational hazard. And many of the Foreign Service officers have faced this matter. It is a matter of concern to the ministry that has even brought the Honorable Attorney General into the picture. And in 2015, the Honorable Attorney General had proposed a solution to this matter to the ministry, which is yet to be implemented. So it is not an isolated case, it's a collective problem. And I believe that the current administration in the ministry will find a lasting solution to it. Perhaps we need to have a pool of domestic workers who can be trained in culture, in languages, in protocol, and many other aspects from which the Foreign Service officers can draw, so that when the tour of duty ends, the domestic workers, and particularly those who go to Americas and Europe, do not feel that they do not have security of tenure in their employment. So they can come back to the pool, and when the next cohort of officers are posted, they can pick again from the pool. Because these workers usually resort to selfish ways of fabricating stories so that they can remain abroad. That is the nature of the problem. And this committee has got immense powers. You have immense powers. You can conduct inspections in our missions and know exactly the nature of this problem. I just wanted to give that clarification. I have no issue pending in Austria. I'm not under any investigations in Austria. I know that a tour of duty ordinarily is 48 months, but it can be varied. A tour of duty can be varied midway, depending on the exigencies of work. It is the responsibility of the ministry to recall and to reassign. In my case, I took it in stride, and with grace, I came back. I continued being me, giving my best service, and a year later, I was made a grand warrior for exemplary service to the country. And I continued to do that beyond 2022, and here I am before you, hoping to be approved for appointment. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Mumusi asked about...
Keep it brief, Ambassador, so you can have as many members as possible asking questions.
Yes, indeed. Germany is a technology giant, and as a country, we are looking for opportunities for our youth who are unemployed, would like to create jobs, and we have the creative industry that we can improve from our collaboration with Germany. We have the Silicon Savannah. There's a lot that we can learn and borrow from Germany. In terms of trade, we have e-commerce, electronic commerce. We can partner with companies to help promote Kenyan products electronically. And we have the county hospitals when it comes to the health sector. Germany is a country that we can get medical equipment from, medical technology, to equip our county hospitals. This is the same also for education sector, digital learning. We now have the open, the open university? So there's a lot we can borrow from Germany. In terms of football, yes, there used to be something like Football Made in Germany, and we can engage with the football academies in Germany to be able to improve the football academy in Kenya in terms of its infrastructure, curriculum, development in training, and in very many aspects. How we can obtain employment for our skilled and non-skilled human resource here in Kenya. There is ongoing negotiations between Kenya and Germany regarding a bilateral labor agreement. This is a good opening, and if approved by this committee, my priority is to follow up on this bilateral labor agreement, to have it fast-tracked, so that then we can have our young people getting jobs out there. You know, Kenyans are hardworking, they are go-getters, and if we get this is a good way of opening employment to them. In terms of also obtaining more jobs, I would promote trade, handle trade fairs, arrange for B2B, business-to-business meetings to promote contacts between businessmen in Germany, businessmen in Kenya. I'll be the go-between to make those connections, the chambers of commerce in the respective countries, and also I would encourage Kenyans to improve their language skill set so that they can then learn German. If they learn the German language, there will be proper conquerors out there. They will easily integrate into that society and be able to prosper more. Thank you.
Honorable Yusuf and Honorable Caleb, Miss.
Chair, thank you. Our acting ambassador here, Kandie, you know, Chair, if he took 26 years in German, and he only knows German up to C level. So you can imagine how many years he needs to arrive to P. I've just been calculating, it's like 206 years. And that's on a light note. Chair, my question, I just have two questions. I think if I remember from your onset, you talked of being accredited to Poland and Czech Republic. Yeah, and I think for German and Poland is, I think most Kenyans is in the minds of Kenyans. But I have an issue with the Czech Republic because not so much is known about our relationship, Kenya relationship with Czech Republic. I was in Praha sometimes back, like 2 years ago. Praha is the capital city of Czech Republic. And you could see a lot of activities there, both European tourism. What I noticed that there is so little on Kenyan Czech Republic relationship. And my question is, how well are you equipped to make sure that you enhance that relationship, and so that Kenya can, one, know much about the country, and secondly, just improve the relationship in terms of our interest and what we can get from that country. And then secondly, you have also talked about being at the helm of these UN organs. You've talked about the Rome Statutes, the Vienna Conventions, Geneva, UN Charter, probably the ICC and the ICJ. All this revolves around international law and how it has been able to help, especially in crisis. You've heard the Ukraine-Russian war, now the Israel-Palestine war, and people are now asking, countries are asking, do we still believe in international law? Is all these atrocities, the use cogents rules, the norms of international law, are they being obeyed, followed anymore? Is international law true law, according to you, and why?
You may respond. Ambassador.
Honorable Amisi, for those questions. Honorable Chair, honorable members, the Czech Republic and Kenya enjoy a warm and cordial relationship. It might be possible that this relationship is not very public out here. The Czech Republic does give Kenya a few scholarships, and my role would be, if approved by this committee, to take up this responsibility to push for more slots of scholarships from that country. The Czech Republic is also a manufacturer of vehicles. It's an advanced country, and even in terms of technology. I would leverage on the Kenyans out there, the diaspora, the Kenyan diaspora in the Czech Republic, as a bridge to connect to businesses out there, so that we can obtain more opportunities for Kenyans. The same strategy, chambers of commerce from Kenya to the respective chamber of commerce in the Czech Republic, I'll do that connection. I would also endeavor to promote our culture by holding trade fairs, exhibitions, missions to Kenya. And in promoting our culture and our products, it will create awareness about what Kenya can offer. And this will strengthen our engagement both at business level, people to people, and from government to government, high-level meetings, always promote and enhance relationship and collaboration between the two countries. In terms of multilateral engagement in the various spaces that I have mentioned, yes, international law is true law. It may have weakness in enforcement, but not wholesome. If international law were not there, I believe that the world would be seeing more anarchy than what we are seeing now. We have the UN Security Council that can exercise sanctions against some countries. And we have the UN Charter, which is the one framework since post-World War II that governs relations between states. And the UN Charter provides that international conflicts should be resolved through peaceful means. So we have to continue with negotiations as diplomats, and it's often said that when diplomacy fails or when diplomacy ends, that's when war begins. But still, even when war begins, diplomacy doesn't stop, it has to continue. So we have the order that we see it in the international system is because we have international law. It would be more, like murkier if we didn't have international law. It has its weaknesses, but I believe that it has prevented a third world war, a fourth world war. We have been through so many world wars by now if we didn't have international law. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Yusuf, Honorable Abdika.
Thank you, Chair. I want to congratulate the Ambassador for her nomination. My question is on the trading, the balance of trade between the two countries. Of course, Germany is a major industrial power with a massive economy, but we have a lot to offer as well. If you look at the tables that I'm seeing here on Germany, is that we are seriously disadvantaged in terms of our trade, and Germany sells more to us than it buys from us. So I was just wondering how you would, what strategies or ideas you might have in trying to improve on that, change that, or improve on that. The second question I have is, you were posted to Washington, D.C. in the early years of your foreign posting. You were in Washington, D.C. from 2006 to 2007, and then you proceeded to New York. Is that usual? Because, and if not, what was the reason that you moved from one international post to another without returning to base? What was the reason for that? If you could explain to us.
Thank you, Chair. Karibu Ambassador. I have one small question for you.
Chair, thank you, honorable members. In responding to the question from Honorable Yusuf and before Kamkunji, in terms of bridging the balance of trade between Germany and Kenya, there are measures that can be applied. I would employ a comprehensive strategy to improve the balance of trade. For instance, I would conduct a market surveillance and market research to find out untapped areas and improve by customizing our products to the prevailing trends and the market demands. In terms of also increasing the market share, I would urge for product diversification, because I think the products that Kenya exports to Germany is tea, coffee, cut flowers, fruits, vegetables. The range is not broad like what we import from Germany. So I would vouch for diversification of our exports to Germany, and also value addition. What we send to Germany in terms of our trade are raw products. I think it will work well for us to be able to enhance the value of our products before they are exported. So value addition is something that I would vouch for us to be able to improve our market share in that country. And in terms of tourism, I would embark on revamping our tourism to that country. And one way to do it is to meet all the tour operators, because tour operators have a huge influence on the travel enthusiasts in those countries. They advise their clients on where to visit. So meeting tour operators and coming up with a strategy to pull more tourists to Kenya is a strategy that can work, and is a strategy that I would employ if I take up this responsibility. In terms of my transfer from DC to New York, this is cross transfers in the ministry are allowed, and they happen all the time. If you look at posting orders, it is something that you can confirm from the ministry. Cross transfers happen all the time. In my case, the PS who transferred me from DC to New York is PS Twitter Mwangi. And actually, I had tried to tell him that I have a young family and if he can let me stay. And he said that the legal advisor in New York at that time had finished her tour of duty, and he had looked around his list of legal officers, and he thought I was the one best suited to take up that challenge. So that is what happened.
I find that suggestion that it is quite common, rather hard to believe, given the fact that there's a very big pool of expertise in Nairobi that is constantly competing to be allowed the opportunity to serve abroad. So I find it rather irregular that you would be transferred from one base in the same country to another. Is this someone who is doing you a favor? rather than a normal kind of procedure within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because a lot of young experts like you would have benefited from that if that was the case.
Thank you, Honorable Yusuf. Through the chair, I actually do not have a role to play in this transfer. And in the public service, when you are redeployed, you simply just comply. It happens all the time. And these cost transfers happen even inter-country. Mine was in-country, from one station in the US to another station in the US. They happen even inter-country. It happens all the time.
Indeed, Ambassador Beth was moved as an ambassador in India to China recently. That is inter-country. But like Yusuf is saying, that was within the country. But well explained. Honorable Abdulkadir.
Yes, I just wanted also to add something. Honorable Yusuf mentioned that there is a pool of many lawyers out there. It is now not normal to get a lawyer from outside the service and put them in a mission. The lawyer must first come into the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it's only when you're within the ministry that you can be sent to a mission out there. About referees, Mheshimiwa, I didn't think about it seriously. I had a former referee who was a member of the diplomatic corps, a member of the diplomatic service, but has retired from the diplomatic service. And I did that replacement just recently. I didn't think much about it. I have many people in the ministry who can vouch for me. So should I be required to provide extra referees, including from the ministry, I do have my bosses in the ministry who can vouch for me as referees. I could call that an oversight.
Okay. Honorable Yusuf, once more.
Yeah, just lawyers from outside. There must be a pool of expertise in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who are likely to do that job just as well as you have done it. And so what I meant is that I felt that there was some irregularity in that, in the sense that ideally if you serve outside, you should return, as a civil servant, you should return back to base. This is the tradition even with the UN civil service, which I have served for many years. Ambassadors are usually moved from one country to the other. That's quite normal. But for the support staff, at the level where you were at that time, I feel that this is quite irregular. And I have been in this committee since I was elected to Parliament 4 times now. And this is the first case that I have seen where a middle-level staff is taken from one base in the same country to another one. So I still feel that that is something maybe should be addressed within the civil service structure in the MFI. It's not your fault. It's just I just wanted to get a clarity as to the reason why.
Vice Chair. Yes, to make your final submission and a plea to this committee to consider you favorably as ambassador to Spain.
Most of the questions have been asked, but mine will dwell on away from Germany. If approved by this committee, you will be serving in Germany but accredited to Poland and Czech Republic. What value can Kenya extract from Poland and the Czech Republic? Being accredited means your office mainly will be in Germany, but once in a while probably traveling to those 2 countries. But what does Kenya gain from these 2 countries that you think is of importance to the people of Kenya? Poland and Czech Republic.
Thank you, Honorable Bashir. Through the chair, in terms of our engagement with Poland, we can gain a lot in the field of agriculture. Poland is good in the agricultural sector in terms of manufacture of farm inputs, machinery, and we can We can mechanize or modernize agriculture here in Kenya. We can replace the handheld tillers, the jembes that we have, with small equipments, farming equipments that are better in terms of that trade. Education and culture, promoting our culture. We can promote our culture in these two countries, and especially the challenges that we have with countries of accreditation is lack of enough budget to cover those countries. But we do our best to promote our culture there, education, and everything we do, be it in the area of culture and the realm of education, it contributes to economic benefits in the country. There is usually also demand for labor in these countries. In Europe, generally, there's a demand for labor, and Kenya has got surplus labor. So we can work around getting opportunities for Kenyans to work in Poland and also in the Czech Republic. And we can do better here if Kenyans can, we encourage Kenyans to improve their language skill sets, learn Polish, learn Czech language, learn German languages. With languages, it's much easier to integrate in these countries. We can leverage on the diaspora. Poland, Czech Republic, Germany, they are all destinations where we have Kenyans settling. And we can leverage on the Kenyans who are in this diaspora to be able to interest them in investing back home here, in participating in opportunities that are available here, because we know that remittances from our diaspora constitutes the highest foreign exchange from out there. Technology. These countries are also ahead in terms of technology. We can leverage on our relationship with these countries to improve our technology because the world now has gone digital. We can improve that for our Silicon Savannah in Konza, and moving on to the other sectors. Transportation, we can go green with electric trains. These are manufactured also in these countries. So we can improve almost in all aspects, in transport, infrastructure, and education and agriculture. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
I'll give you final 3 minutes to make your final remarks and final plea to this committee to consider you favorably. But before you do that, there is an inconsistency in your names from your undergraduate and the master's degree. You have Stella Orina Kerubo and you have Stella Mokaya Kerubo. Who are you?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. From my undergrad, I was then a spinster, and I can say that is the brand name, the name that I was born with, my maiden name, Stella Kerubo Mokaya. So Orina was the married name. I acquired Orina later when I got married. Yeah, thank you. So they are all my names. So thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you, Honorable Committee members, for your time. I once more would like to thank His Excellency the President for nominating me for this position. I also want to thank the committee for your time. I have learned a lot from you. It's also been an opportunity for me to make certain clarifications. And this is a committee that oversees our ministry. So I look forward to continue working with you. And finally, I also look forward to your positive consideration of my nomination for appointment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador. Sometimes you find we have difficulty in vetting people who are